Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about people who have a lack of imagination, but a strong sense of entitlement to that they don't need that imagination. They feel like they don't need it. It needs to be handed to them, so they don't have to have an imagination. Okay. Now, for those of us who do videos on what many just call narcissistic abuse, and this is basically, in this video I'm talking about verbal, emotional abuse, not physical, but it could include that, but mainly verbal, along this line. And that whole thing of lack of imagination and high sense of entitlement. Again, for those of us who do the videos, imagine if it had become a norm that the videos on narcissistic abuse must actually show the action. People can watch it and they see somebody being narcissistically abused. Okay? Now that has not happened, it's not the norm, but it's on my mind because I did videos on my original channel a long time ago that were similar on this topic of narcissistic abuse. Wasn't actually narcissistic abuse, although you could call it that. And I looked at them sometime yesterday, and somebody had gone through and commented that they wanted to actually see the action. Now, to show and have somebody to have an expectation that you show this, the thing about it is, the reason I looked it up was because of something similar. In fact, a few things. They weren't, some of it was comments, but it was a video I did more recently, and I got a lot of thumbs down on it, which I don't get those. I usually don't. If they don't like it, they just leave, and, I don't usually get them. Not too many. So it made me wonder, if I had other, that's one of the reasons. I had other videos that, did that happen to them, and what were the comments along this line? But just think about this for a moment, and I did. Why would somebody want to actually see it happening? Some people, they do things and they put on little skits, act and everything. Now, remember, this is a free service. And on a free service, for somebody expecting to see something like that, and of course, hopefully they're not expecting to see it actually happening to the person who's making the video, unless it's staged, basically. It's a act. But why would they need that? And I think that a lot of it is because people, some people lack imagination. They can't hear a story. You just tell a story. They need to see it. They have to see it. I don't remember that so much when I was younger. It seems like the more and more once music became videos on TV, people want to see it in action. They don't want to think about it. Now, I'm not saying everybody now, and in fact, I would say it's rather few people. But the more and more everything is on video, I think the more and more people, they don't want to have to do the work to use their imagination. That's sad. A lack of imagination, or not wanting to use their imagination. And then, on top of it, is a sense of entitlement to it. I don't think I need to go into detail about somebody having a sense of entitlement that they want everything where they see it instead of having to use their brain to think about it. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? But yeah, for somebody to feel they're entitled for you to make a video, when you make a video on some kind of form of abuse, they want to actually see it in action. And I had more than one comment from that one person that from my original channel that I saw it on, and then, like I said, and went from there. But yeah, so, oh my goodness, so the way things are changing these days, I'm serious. Oh my goodness. But anyway, what do you think? Do you think people use their imagination as much now as they did before? How do you feel about it? If I leave this open, I might not leave it open to comments. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, and comment if you can. I'll talk to you on that video.